Incremental greetings. Today I want to share with you one issue you may have when setting up the Git backup solution. I recently started a new repository, and what I found is this error, the HTTP 502. And usually you get the fatal remote hang up unexpectedly, and everything is up to date, but nothing is pushed on GitLab. Well, actually the point is the limit. Look at that, 2.6 gigabytes. But I think there's a limit of how many files you can do in one single commit. So long story short, if your collection is already big, large enough, you won't be able to do so in the first commit. So what you will need to do, and that's how I phrase it, is an incremental commit or an incremental push. So let's do that. This is from yesterday. That's my laptop. So that's the repository that it's not working, right? As you can see, 100 something kilobytes. It's just a default README and so on. Just in case, and to show you the whole process, I will modify this before creating. So I want always the same URL and the same name on my local repository. So it's easier for me to update. And I will call this SM4 because it's the fourth repository I have. Now, let me quickly create a new project. Private, okay. Okay, I'm done finally here. Now, that's my local repository, right? Here I have the hidden folder about Git and everything that is inside it. Okay, so I just opened CMD on my D drive. Now, I renamed Supermemo to Supermemo 5. And what I do is git clone and the name of the repository, which is still the same, Supermemo, because I renamed the alt to Supermemo 4. Okay, so now this creates a new folder, Supermemo, and I have the hidden folder get and to readme, because by default you have to readme, usually. Okay, so now that's the point of this video, is I will do the incremental push. So instead of transferring all the contents onto a new folder, I will do it incrementally to overcome the limitation, even if it's in the quantity of files or the quantity of changes or the size of everything, right? So in my case, I will select all, then I will deselect the get. I really don't want this, and then the file I already have, which is the readme. And in my case, SM184, that's where all the systems, collection systems are, so this weighs a lot. So I will be using all of this on the first chunk. I could use copy and paste, but since my collection is already huge, that will be very slow to do. So I will do just cut and paste. And even though I have a backup of 2 days on the another repository. Nice. If you remember, I already have it here. SM push. Oh, sorry. CD Supermemo. Okay. So the commit is done incrementally. I think what is not needed is to push the changes each time. I'm not sure about that, but just in case I will do it every time. Golden nuggets. Yeah, that's the only video I have locally thing. So then, gotcha. And now git push. Which 1000 and something, it's not that big, but at least semantically it's easy to differentiate because it's everything that it's not collection wise. Now, whilst doing that, let me go back to Supermemo 5. And here now I will copy everything but the systems. What I will need is to recreate the folder, this one. So let me copy everything but systems, and here I will have to put a new folder, SM184, and paste it here. Okay, so I will sync everything but my main collection for now. So it's easier for me to remember what it's left to copy. To put systems as well, copy here, paste here. Okay, so I will do it again. I can just press up arrow to get the last commands I did, and git push again. Now if I go to GitLab and I refresh, yeah, sometimes it takes a while to refresh the storage and files, but you can see that everything is here from 2 minutes ago. So don't take this as reference. I don't know how long it takes. Now, 15 seconds ago, I just refreshed the page. This is the second commit, and it's only this folder and everything inside here, but one collection. I know, sorry, inside systems. Here it's everything, but with one collection. Gotcha. Now, third. Let's do the third iteration. So Supermemo 5, and let me see how much is that. I think I had 2.6 gigabytes, so I'm assuming that will be really close to that. Oh, it should. Okay, this is very weird. It's even, oh my god, it's 1 gigabyte more than last time. Oh my god, that increased quite a lot. Even though the story is the same. So just for my easiness, I will select everything but the elements. And another way to do this will be more convenient is having two windows. So in my left side, this is Supermemo 5, Systems, Learning. Okay, Systems. Now let me copy. Oh shoot. And now I will make a new folder, Learning. Keep in mind to not do any typo. That's really important. Okay. And I will do everything but elements. Yeah, it's much easier to do it this way. Now let's do for the third iteration. I call it just update, but I could call, instead of update, is initial update. More descriptive. Is, oh, and now it's all the collections but the main one, and so on. So if there's one issue, I can know what step that was. Now I'm recording this, so I will know which step it is. But in a few days, I won't remember that. Now it's taking a while. So I will be editing this video for your convenience, but what you can see is that now it's taking much longer to write all the files. In this case, 16,000. Okay, finally done. So far we did all of this. So 19 minutes ago we did the initial commit. It's just a readme when you create the repository, right? And here you can see what we did each time. If I click here, so obviously there will be only additions and not deletions. Let's keep going. So now I have elements. I will have to recreate it here. Elements. And this is very big. This is 3 gigabytes. So I don't know. Let me do for the first 10. What will that be? I would like to keep it below. Oh, 1 gigabyte is quite a lot. Now this commit will take even longer because there are more files. Okay, finally done. By the way, I'm recording this video incrementally as well. So each time I'm stopping the recording and I am interleaving with doing the dishes. So just to let you know, you can actually interleave this and sort of incrementalism. Okay, so now git push. I don't know how long it took, but I think about 20 minutes, something like that. And I just did the first 10 folders, which is roughly slightly more than a gigabyte. So I will need to do it 2 times more. So overall, I think I will need like an hour or something. Now, when this is finished, because writing to the cloud is a lot quicker, I have the time stamp. Oh wow, 28 minutes. And the last one, oh, I said 20, and it's 19. That was such a good guess. Wow. And about commits, yeah, now 20, updated to 20. So I am 37 minutes in already, and I have 2 more steps to go. And it's just 3.3 gigabytes and something more. So take this into account that even though if you have just little size, there are so many files, more than 140,000. This is why it's taking so long. Finally done. So it was about 1 gigabyte, 1.03, so almost spot on, and this succeeded. So now let's go for the next bunch. From up to 20. Oh, this is 1.5 gigabytes. Okay, just to be sure. Oh wow. I guess in those folders I have more pictures, because only 5 folders are 1.3. Wow. So we'll select only 4. Oh wow. Only 3? What the heck? Only 2? Just the 11th? Wow. Now I'm curious. Let me check that. Wow, look at that. The 11th and the 12th. 43% and 37%. Wow. And look at all of those. What I do suggest is to actually look at this before deciding how you chunk the commits, the push every time, right? So if I have looked at before, I will do just this in case, just the 11th, just the 12th, and later on, everything else. Yeah, look at that. 8,000 JPEG, and if I filter just a 12. Okay, the structure seems almost the same, but it's not, because inside the 11th you have the 3 from up to 30. And look at that. So up to the 8,000 files that are pictures, almost half are inside this folder, 11th. Look at that, 3,800. So that's why it's weighting that much. Good to know, right? Learning, elements, and I will do just this folder, the 11th, which has almost half of the pictures. Now I think this won't take that long, because even if it's 1 GB, there are less files, since it's not that text-based. So I will going back to interleave with the dishes, and let's see what happens. Okay, next iteration. Now, I don't even recall what's the last thing I did. If it was... Okay, so now I need to push. Oh shoot, this will take longer than I thought. So what I was doing to dishes, I was thinking, and... Oh, now makes sense. There's a reason for that most of the pictures are on just 2 folders. You know that Supermemo only have up to 30 folders, right? When you get up to this, you have 10 children. It creates a new, deeper layer of hierarchy. So, my hypothesis is that this is from the English collection. Because with incrementalism, it's highly unlikely I will have so many pictures so condensed to each other, right? Because I will have new topics and so on. And what I notice as well is that the Git goes by alphabetic order. Look at the elements. It will always, the last one will be 99, always. And you start with the 1 and 1. And also, I guess that gradually, incrementally, the check for reused files will take longer because there are more files on the repository. Because now it's taking a lot of time without actually updating the interface, the text, the output, I mean. Finally done. I had to repeat the process because I had one DNS issue. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming my screen for a very long period, I don't know. Okay, so next will be just folder number 12. And that will be the second last step. Nice. So I can see already it's all the elements from folder 12. Okay, so let's go back to the dishes. One observation now that it's finished is that this size is compressed. So last time I had 1.03 gigabytes. It was actually more, right? It was 1.3, 1.5, something like that. So keep that in mind. Even though I will suggest to keep 1 gigabyte uncompressed, something like that, just as extra precaution. And now I will do everything else. All the other folders, let me see how much it is. Look at that, 300 megabytes. Okay, so finally. Oh wow, that was a lot quicker than I thought. I did an interleave. Okay, so let me do the git push right away. Yeah, it's a lot quicker, even though it's 6,000 files. Interesting. And finally, we are done. Look at that. 8 commits and slightly more than 1 hour. I did sync everything. Let me check that. It says 2.7. Okay, 2.7 was compressed. That's why I had 3.7 or something like that, because it was uncompressed. Good to know. So finally I have everything here. So what I will do now is go to my laptop, to my desktop. That's it. That's an optional step in case you're using more than one computer. So I will go. I have Supermemo Alt 3 already. So I will put these 5 and do the same. But I don't need to do an incremental pull. And now I don't even have to pull because I will start from scratch. So just a clone will do everything I need to. So git clone paste clipboard, the Supermemo git. As you can see, it creates a new folder. And this, eventually, I will be deleting this. This is even older. Look at that, it's from June. But since I have plenty of space here, I don't have any need to delete it. And this will take a lot of time, but the point is already made. So overall, if you are in excess of size, you need to do those steps, those commits and pushes incrementally. And second, I suggest to use the winDirStat, so you can check which folders, as it happened to me that 2 folders were overwhelmingly more heavy than the others. The size was bigger than the others. And yeah, this is just time for do. I can leave the computer to do everything, and that will be all. And if you think this video is helpful, please consider making a donation to support this channel. Because this video will be cumbersome to edit, because I recorded incrementally, so I will need like a few hours more to edit it out. One step that I didn't consider at the beginning is, okay, now it's finished on my desktop, and I synchronized my collection. As you can see, 2.6 gigabytes. And then I just open Supermemo. But keep in mind that I renamed this, right? So if I go to open, or it's even Supermemo alt, but this will be the same. This will be renamed, the folder. So I just need to go to Supermemo. And here, systems, and now learning. That is extremely important.